Good morning, Texoma. I'm Ashley Fitzwater. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're talking about Midwestern State University students this morning, specifically a fraternity and sorority that is truly giving back by pouring into our future leaders right here in Texoma. I would like to introduce you to them now. Joining me from Omega Delta Phi is Jesus Laura, also David Alexander, so thank you both for being here this morning. From Kappa Delta Chi, we have Lucy Ramirez and Samantha Forrester. Your organization, which is Omega Delta Phi, your fraternity, is really a service-based organization. So I know whenever it came to giving back, that your focus was on kids right here in our community.
For me, I can absolutely say it all started when I was in school. I didn't really have that guidance or anybody there. And then we are a service fraternity. We actually get involved with our community, whether it being with the schools, the local food banks. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I did it, because I wanted to get involved with the young kids.
I love that.
No, when I was growing up, I had different things, somewhat like our Young Knights program, to do, and I felt like it was a big help for me, so I thought it was only right to give back.
That's pretty awesome. And you know, you said Young Knights, and what it is, you guys, they're in Zunde Junior High, really mentoring these young students, as I said, these future leaders. Can you tell us what it is that you do with these kids once a week?
We do words of the day with them every day to give them SAT words. Hopefully they could take that on later. We try to do different programs for them every day, whether it be to just get active between each other or teaching them skills that they could take on in the future, interviewing skills or how to manage themselves in a professional situation.
Whenever you heard about this specific program, can you tell me what your first thoughts were?
I want to change people's lives. I mean, if it's this one little thing that affects their lives, then that's something that's worth doing.
We're going to hear how they are changing lives, because we actually have one of the students here with us, two of them, and we're going to hear from them coming up, one of those Young Knights, but there's also the Little Penguins. Ladies, I understand you got involved in spring of '08. That's when Kappa Delta Chi kind of came on board. Can you talk about, why that was done?
Both Omega Delta Phi and Kappa Delta Chi are service-based organizations, and nationally we're pretty tight-knit. So they extended the invitation to us here on campus, and we like to kind of target the minorities on campus. That's what both of our organizations are for, because those are typically the ones who don't do well in school, aren't statistically inclined to graduate on time, statistically drop out. So we wanted to target those kids to try and make a difference in their lives and, kind of break that barrier and make it easier for them, give them tools to help them get to high school. Because sometimes when you have programs in high school, it may be a little bit too late. So we're hitting them early so that their success rate is a little bit better on their end.
Absolutely. Whenever you go into the classroom once a week, you're in there with this group of girls, and I understand this is a growing group of young girls, so something they're very interested in. What do you do when you walk in the class?
Getting them to understand how to communicate with one another and how they can make themselves better as a woman. Going into high school, we try to teach them how to respect themselves, how to be a young lady. We want to make sure that they are well taught as far as boundaries, what boundaries are, different types of boundaries, rated R movies, kind of things like that, and also boundaries as far as personal boundaries, when not to cross that line with somebody else.
You always hear whenever it comes to giving back that it works both ways.
Personally, I connected with a young lady who I think was an 8th grade student this year, so she'll be going into high school. And I feel like in class, she had a lot of disciplinary problems. But when she came to the program, she was well behaved, she listened to us, she seemed to enjoy the activities that we did. And I feel like it did make a difference in her performance in school. She was one girl that I feel like touched me personally, because I feel like she used us as kind of a way to, I guess, be more relaxed. She didn't feel like we were someone who was over her, but at the same time, she still respected us and learned from us. So in turn, it made her well behaved in school, and I do feel like this will make a difference in her behavior.
Pouring into them, you're able to see the difference that was made. Sometimes you don't see it. Sometimes maybe it is just a seed that's planted in their life, but that is pretty neat to be able to see the change for yourself. What about for you?
I've had one of the girls open up to me, and it's really, it touches home, because as both minorities in the community, we don't come from a wealthy background. And for her to even have dreams of, yes, I want to go to college, it gives me hope that this generation that we are teaching and mentoring, that they will be successful leaders in life. No matter her background, she still wants to become somebody successful in life, just like I did when I was back home. I knew that when I grew up, no matter what was holding me back, I wanted to be a successful leader.
That's awesome. Showing her she can do it.
With our program. I'm an athlete coming from a background where I wanted to play professionally, but it didn't pan out the way I really wanted it to pan out. So one of the main topics that we talked about in one of our Young Knights programs was working on what you want to be in life every day and like driving towards the goal. One of our guys, he said he wanted to be a comedian, like stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
He was interested in that. And I was like, okay, like do what you want to do, but work on it every day, whether it be telling jokes to your friends. And what I noticed from that point on, he was telling jokes every single time I saw him, like nonstop almost. And that kind of just showed me, it's like, I got to practice what I preach. Even though I might have lost the drive to do something like soccer, I can work on something every day.
That's good. Sometimes it's so easy to see it in others, but not yourself. So I think that's something we can all take away from this today. Absolutely. I know we're going to hear much more from you. We're going to have one of the Young Knights and one of the Little Penguins up here in just a moment. But I mentioned this is all connected to a program called Communities in Schools. That's how you are in there. That's how the students that you're working with are selected. We're going to hear how these students are changing the lives of these young students. Again, this future generation. To stay with us, Texoma, we will be right back. Welcome back. Joining me now is Amy Wardell. She is with Communities in Schools. And Amy, can you tell me a little bit about Communities in Schools?
Yes, Communities in Schools is a nonprofit, school-based program that brings not only the community into the school, but additional resources, government resources, getting the parents involved and the teachers and staff as well.
It really is impressive to see how it's changing a lot of young lives. Specifically here, we're talking about junior high students. And I know you're always wanting the interest in this program to grow. And so you're coming up with new ways to get the kiddos involved and to let them know you have different activities, because this is after school.
Yes, and this actually started when I first started Communities in Schools and got on campus. I had contacted Omega Delta Phi and additional other organizations at MSU. I felt that starting out, what better way to get the community involved than actually contacting the college. There are so many programs for girls that the boys were getting left out just a little bit. And so once the gentlemen came in, they took reign, and it just was amazing from the start. And so then the second semester, they had contacted a sorority, Kappa Delta Chi, and the ladies were eager to start. Once they started, they came in with their ideas, and it's been growing ever since. So almost 7 years.
Wow.
Both programs have been at Zundy.
That's impressive. Why did you feel it was so important to ask the college-age students?
Felt they may not look up so much to teachers, though they do.
Right.
More of a personal relationship to show not just the struggles that they may have gone through in high school of their own, but also that they can do it and they can make it to college
Right.
if that's what they choose to do. College may not be for everyone, but what they represent is their drive, their goals, their motivation. So I think it's encouraging for the students.
Have you heard any success stories or seen any success stories? I'm sure you have, from these past 7 years.
Absolutely. I had recently had a gentleman from Zundy contact me, graduated high school and everything, and the first thing he had asked is, do you still have the Young Knights program? Are they still there? I'm like, they're still here. You can come and visit anytime if you want to talk to anybody. He's like, well, I just want to let you know that I'm going to Baylor
Oh, wow.
next semester. I got in, and I was just so excited for him. But I was also happy to hear that he didn't forget about some of the things that he may have learned from the boys program at the time.
Obviously made a big impact. He's going on to college now and still
Yes.
remembering something from junior
And
high.
it being one of the first things he asks, are they still there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously this program has impacted you personally. What does their service and their time mean?
they're my rock. I mean, I wouldn't be doing what I do without them, honestly, because they're my volunteers, they're my support group, they motivate me.
That's what this is all about. You know, we have people today, leaders right now in our community, pouring back into our future leaders, and I love to see that. We are going to actually hear from some of the students who are in the program, so stick with us. We'll be right back with much more here on Inside Texoma. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are taking an inside look into the Little Penguins and Young Knights program that's all part of Communities and Schools at Zunde Junior High. Joining me once again, we have Lucy Ramirez and Samantha Forrester. They are with Kappa Delta Chi, Midwestern State University. And now we also have 7th grader at Zunde Junior High. This is Lexus. Lexus, thank you so much for being here with us this morning and talking to us. We're excited that you're here. Now, can you tell me, how many times a week do you go into the Little Penguins class?
Once a week, Tuesday.
On Tuesdays, once a week. How neat was that whenever you found out that once a week these ladies were going to be coming into your class?
I first felt like excited because I finally get to meet like somebody that comes from MSU, because when I grow up I want to go to college and like be part of the FBI.
That is impressive right there. You know, I understand that y'all truly believe this is going to happen, I'm sure, correct?
Yeah. I've really seen her change. She first was shy, and this semester when we're in the classrooms, it's, you know, she participates more. We had a lesson over boundaries, and I mean, she gave us plenty of examples on personal and even state law boundaries, which is impressive to me, knowing that she wants to be part of the FBI. We do encourage her looking into special universities or maybe what she can get into for her major, what she wants to accomplish in life, which, you know, I'm glad we can be here to help her.
Can you tell me what has been the neatest thing that you've got to do with these ladies?
We get to like color this little penguin and decorate it. And one of the projects that they're doing, they're going to give us like a little ticket, a card. And by the end of the semester or year, they're going to give us a prize, whoever gets the most.
Maybe she can get an extra ticket for coming on today, huh? Just seeing, you know, students like Lexus and how they've grown over the semester. Is this why y'all do this?
It's really good to see that, because I was there the first semester that she had entered our program. You could tell she wasn't too comfortable talking if we asked for them to open up to everybody. But what I hear now is she participates more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So to me, that really makes me feel like we're doing our part, making our difference in the community, as well as setting her up, you know, to help her out in the future. That's what we do this for, is to see them grow.
Can you tell me how Communities and Schools has changed your life?
It improves my grades even better because they talk about different stuff that I need help on. My lowest grade is a 89, and all of them are like 90s and above.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I love it. She's a girl with many dreams. Well, we appreciate you being here, Lexus, and we definitely wish you the best. And it's encouraging to hear how you know, the Little Penguins program is changing your life and Communities and Schools. Thank you for sharing with us today. We appreciate it. And thank you, ladies, as well. We are going to hear from one of the Young Knights right after the break, so stay with us right here for much more on Inside Texoma. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are taking an inside look into the communities and schools Young Knights Little Penguin program at Zunde Junior High. And joining me once again, we have Jesus and David. We appreciate you guys coming back up here to talk with us. And also we have Troy. He's an 8th grader and a Young Knight at Zunde Junior High. So Troy, can you tell me, what is the Young Knights program? What is it that you guys do?
It's basically we're all together in one room, and they give us a word of the day, and we cover that. Then we just play like a game for like 30 minutes, and then we go outside or go to the gym and just play sports, but we still talk to each other about it.
Now, did you say they give you a word of the day? Why is that something that you guys feel is important, the word of the day? How does that kind of get the students involved?
Well, I know when I was preparing for the SATs, a big thing was words. You have to know words. So I just felt it would have been a good time to start middle school. Why not?
Absolutely. So they're usually words maybe you don't know the definitions to. Is that correct? And then so you're learning a new word and working that in your vocabulary?
Yeah.
Has there been a favorite, maybe a big word that you've learned you can teach us all today? Okay, if that comes to you, let us know, all right? What is the best part about this program for you? What do you like to do best with the guys?
Sit in the room and just talk with all my friends and them. It's like one big family in there.
That's awesome. What have they encouraged you to do? Did they encourage you to, go for your dreams?
They say that I can do what I want to do, but not like goof off or anything. And teach us how to do an interview and taught us to set a minor goal, and then when you reach that, set a one step ahead of that goal, and just try to go to the top of your goal, and that's be what you want to be.
I like that. And I have to bring this up because I love the tie-in here, and I found out that you are the comedian that he was talking about earlier in the program. And first of all, I'm sure that's pretty neat to hear that you inspired a college student, someone who's there to mentor you. Now you've been even an inspiration to them. How does that make you feel to hear that?
It makes me feel good to know that someone is believing in me.
Yeah.
And they know I can, if I put my head to it, I can do it. And that's what I'm going to try to be.
That's awesome, Troy. I mean, just listen to his answers. It'll blow you away and just makes, I'm sure, you realize this is why I do what I do, right?
Yeah. I definitely wanted to give back to community. So whenever I hear people like Troy talk or any of the other guys or people that have already came through the program, it feels good.
Now, Jesus, I know whenever you were younger, you said that you did not have anything like the Young Knights program in place. How do you think that would have affected you differently if you did?
It would have been a major difference. And back when I was in school, like I wish we had it. If I had something like that when I was growing up, I would have probably been a lot better at a younger age than I am now.
Right.
And for me, that's just great that we have this program now affecting kids of our town.
Right, absolutely. I want to ask you, Troy, kind of some differences that you've noticed since you've been in the Communities in Schools program, but I'd like to start with you guys. Have y'all noticed anything about him?
With Troy specifically, he was already a very vocal individual, but I'll say after going through a few of the classes, I've noticed he was more of a vocal leader, whether it be his tone and when somebody was doing something wrong, he would correct them, something like that. But he was definitely a change for the good.
That is a great change, absolutely. Has this been a positive thing that you can tell?
I noticed that I did become more of a vocal leader and not be a follower.
Yeah.
And, be a leader. That's one thing I noticed.
Well, I'd say that's one of the biggest ones, Troy. We need more leaders and a good leader. I'm sure this is something you want to continue for years to come, right?
I definitely appreciate every minute of it. I like the feeling of giving back because I feel like that I've had leaders in my life change me into the person I am today. So that's my story.
I just hope it's here 10, 20 years from now so I can look back and see that good's still going on in this community for our future leaders.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for being here this morning. We appreciate it, and it's really neat to see what we have going on right here in Texoma. So we appreciate the inside look and, of course, all that you're doing in our community. And Troy, we look forward to hearing much more from you. And Of course, as you hit the stage and continue those jokes, maybe we can have one on a future Inside Texoma. So thanks again. And Texoma, we want to say thank you for joining us this morning. We hope you have a wonderful day. As always, we'll see you back here next Sunday morning for another look inside Texoma.